My name's Evan, and I've been selling secondhand clothing for the past 3 years. I'm someone who loves clothing a lot, and over these years working with clothing, I've kept a lot of pieces, more than I actually wear. So I wanted to show you guys everything that I've kept as a secondhand clothing reseller. So one thing that I have the most of is sweaters. I have a really hard time parting with them. They just hold a really strong place in my heart. I love them so much. So I'm gonna show you guys all of these awesome sweaters that I've picked up over the past 3 years. So this one is one of my favorites. This one's from Arts Unlimited. I love things that have animals on them. And this one has two of my favorite things. I love different pattern and designs. This one kind of has like an Aztec design, but it also has these wolves and wolf prints that go around the entire sweater front to back, making this sweater one of my favorites, as well as it has an awesome double collar. So the second piece holds a lot of sentimental value just because I'm kind of the one that created it. It is a vintage members only Russell Athletics sweater. It's a heavyweight sweater, but it has an amazing sun fade over the front and back. I left this sweater outside for about 2 months and it just developed this beautiful, beautiful fading on it, and I absolutely love it. There's just nothing like it, and it is one of my staple pieces in my closet. So these are two of my favorite graphic sweaters. These are both art festival sweaters, the white one dating 1988 and the black one dating 1994. They both display beautiful artworks on the front of them, and they're just so full of color, especially for how old they actually are. So surprisingly, I've actually never found a Coogie sweater, but these are as close as I've ever gotten. And I actually think this one right here is better than a Coogie sweater. This one's from Gecko. It's made in Australia and it's pure wool. And the pattern on this thing is insane, as well as its weight. It is super, super heavy. I love the way this one looks. This one has a ton of colors and it kind of keeps that more symmetrical pattern. So this one I have on is by Saint Durand. It's a nice one color, kind of almost like a waffle knit sweater. It has a single button right at the collar, but this one is a dark blue knit sweater by Windridge. This is another vintage men's knit sweater. This one's by Men's Store. This is just a perfect white blank. You really don't see these without any stains, but this one is completely clean. So I've actually never worn this piece, and I'm honestly not even sure if this is a men's or women's, but this is a vintage Union Bay knit sweater. It has a very cropped fit to it. It's covered in stains, and it's got also a knitted collar, which is something I've honestly never seen on a sweater. So it is one of a kind. So this one is one of my favorites. I think this is just something that I'm gonna keep forever. This is Anne Marie's Hand Knits. This is made in Ireland. It's 100% wool, and it is super itchy. But other than that, I love this piece. It is like the most ideal grandma sweater you could possibly ever find, and it fits me perfectly. This is definitely more of a unique knit sweater. This one is it's called Artisans. It is handmade in Ecuador. I love this thing. It is also extremely itchy because it's wool. There is honestly nothing like it, and I've never seen another sweater that is this beautiful. So my pants collection definitely isn't the biggest highlight, but I have some very, very unique pieces. So I wanted to show you guys, first off, these men's trousers that I picked up recently. They're very, very thick, and I live in Arizona, so I haven't had the chance to wear a lot of them. I'm actually wearing a pair right now, and I believe these were all hand-tailored to someone that fits the same height and width as I am, because these fit me so perfectly, and they have a beautiful baggy fit. So I'm gonna go over these pretty quick. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like these style of pants. These are all some true vintage. Most of these are Yale trouser collections. Some of them are Polo. This specific pair I'm holding now is Metrics, and most of them are made in the USA. They are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pants. I'm so excited for winter to come around when I can actually wear these. These are one of the thickest pair. This is by Polo, and I'll show you these ones. This one is from Yale Trouser Collection. This one specifically is my favorite. I love this pair. It's super, super baggy. Moving on to more of my denim pieces. These I've had for quite a while, and I used to wear these in high school actually. This is probably the first pair of baggy, I would call it Junko style jeans. These are Pepe jeans, if that's how you pronounce it, and these are really, really cool. They're massive. I believe they're 42s. Let me double check. 44s, which is massive. You can see these barely fit on me. They have the massive embroidery on the back pocket. They got a lot of detail to them, and I've honestly never seen another pair like this pair. And that's just one reason why I can't get rid of them. They're just too unique. So I'm not a fan of black or white denim. I really just don't like the way it looks. But these are two true vintage pairs of IOU jeans. This black pair is one of my favorite pairs to actually wear now. This white pair has got a couple of paint stains on the back. I really don't see white pants, especially ones that are true vintage. They usually get thrown out. This black pair is so cool. These are made in the USA. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons on the front. They have a brown stitch all around the pockets, and it's just something I've literally, again, never seen before. These I actually just wore for the first time. I've had these forever, and they kind of remind me of like a prison jumpsuit or something, but I really do like them. I just wish they weren't orange. This one is also one of my favorite pairs of denim. I used to wear these almost every single day. This is, in my opinion, better than Junko jeans just because they're a little bit more low-key. These are solo jeans. They kind of fit exactly how Junkos would fit. Super, super baggy, extremely wide leg opening, and they're just the perfect color blue. They have that beautiful Y2K look, and these are just one of my favorite pairs of jeans. So moving into my more tactical workwear pants, I have two of my favorite that I wear. This pair on the left, this is a two-tone brown. It kind of has like the double knee, but it's a different material. These are by Redhead. And I really like these. I get compliments on these every single time I wear them just because really nobody's seen these kind of pants worn casually. They're just super, super unique. You can even see it's got like the back material that goes all the way down. It's super cool. This other pair, on the other hand, I don't see a lot of gray Carhartt pants. These are Carhartt double knees, beautiful fades, got rips in the knees, but these are just one of my favorite pairs of pants to wear. They're super heavyweight. And Carhartt and other workwear companies just don't make pants like this anymore. That's why these are one of my favorite workwear pants. Last but not least, these actually have a little bit of a story to them. These are Echo United jeans, and they have the craziest back pocket embroidery I think I have ever found. So since we just did pants, let's go ahead and do shorts. These are my favorite shorts, and I don't wear any of these anymore just because jorts are now in style, and I feel like if I wore these today, people would think I just got them. So this is the first pair. These are all super, super baggy, and they have the craziest back pocket embroideries. That was my favorite thing. I never wore jorts if they didn't have crazy back pocket embroideries or some sort of cool detail that made them stand out. So like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of black denim. I just never really wore black denim, but these are by far the craziest jorts that I have. I did not wear these a lot just because this specific style was never my style, but I can't get rid of these. So this was my first pair of jorts I ever got. This is by Academics. I almost didn't get these because I thought nobody's wearing these. I've never seen anyone wear baggy jorts. They're just so unpopular. No one would buy them. And I actually ended up getting them just because they were so unique, and I wore them myself, and I was like, wow, these are so comfortable, and nobody's doing this. Like, I just thought these were the coolest thing, and these hold the most memory. I will never sell these, and I just love Academics. I think they make great pieces, and this back patch of leather is just so unique with all of the 3D detail in it. So this is one of my favorite pairs. These are by Refuse Denim. These have cool front pocket embroideries, and on the back they have these awesome velvet back pockets. So I don't even remember how I got these, and I actually forgot I had these just because I haven't worn these jorts in so long. But this is something I couldn't find online. These are called Iber jeans, and the tag says Duck Story, if you can see that. But on the back pockets, they have this dog and duck fighting. So this is one of my favorite pairs of jorts, and I actually cannot find these online. And if anyone can find the company or whoever made these, I genuinely want another pair. They're so, so cool. They're called 4 Mile, and they just have the nicest fit to them. They're extremely baggy, they're size 36s, but the leg opening is massive, they're super long. They almost feel like they were intentionally made for workwear just because of how heavy duty these are actually made. Last but not least, this is also one of my favorite pairs. The back pocket embroidery is absolutely insane. Okay, so I have a ton of jackets, coats, all of the outerwear. I have a lot of it, and it's the reason I have such a hard time getting rid of it is because these probably have the most detail to the original artist. So I think of them more as art. So I kind of call it my art collection when I talk about these pieces, but these are some of my absolute favorites, and a lot of them aren't as cool to other people as they are to me, and I know that, but I have to show you guys everything that I find super, super interesting. So this is my coat, jacket, my outerwear collection. So we're gonna start it off strong with this Polaris varsity jacket. This is genuinely a timeless piece. The design is just something that's never gonna go out of style. We got the big embroidery on the front, the big embroidery on the back, and it's got almost like a patch style feel, even though it is a real embroidery. But this is a super cool piece. It is extremely timeless. So I do actually collect a lot of women's pieces. This one specifically is for Valentine's Day. I just like this one because it has so much detail. It is truly an art piece. It's got hearts all over it, and it's like entirely tie-dyed. Everything seems like it was just made by hand, and it is my favorite women's jacket that I own. I know this is what everyone's been waiting for. This is the Carhartt jacket. This is my canvas Carhartt jacket. I almost sold this for $25 before Carhartt was popular, but I actually took it down because nobody would buy it for $25. This is one of my favorite jackets and probably one of the most expensive jackets that I have. So I've only worn this one time, and I just think it's so cool. It's like a denim women's coat, just something that I've never seen before. Even though it's more of a modern piece by Dress Barn, I love this jacket and I think it is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So this is definitely in the top 5 of most expensive pieces that I have. This is a men's corduroy pre-knit coat. I got this quite a while ago, and I was going through the pockets and I found a price tag for over $1,000. And this fits me too well to get rid of. Even though that there's no pants with this, I think I can pair this up with quite a few different types of pieces that I have to make this really, really pop. I've worn this a few times, but the fit on it is absolutely insane. It's almost like it was made for me. This one I get a lot of compliments on. This is a Dickies thermal lined red jacket. It is definitely one of the coziest pieces I have, but also one of my favorites just because it's so plain and it kind of can be worn with anything. So this piece has a specific place in my heart. I've never seen anything like it, and it is an extremely cool workwear jacket. This is by Old Navy. It has a beautiful cropped fit. This one is specifically a size small, but it fits me perfectly. There's some interesting details like this shoulder pocket that's a circle, and it has 2 little pen holders on the side. And on the inside, the inner lining is like a honeycomb, but the stitch is neon yellow. So super interesting jacket, but honestly, it is one of my favorites. So this one I always wanted for the longest time. This is a red cap cropped fit workwear jacket. It is such a cool piece, and it just can be worn with absolutely anything. It did have a bunch of Valvoline patches on the shoulders and the chest, but I actually have 2 of these jackets. So one of them I kept all the patches on. This one I took them all off, and I love the way this looks. I can just wear it with literally anything and it looks good. But I always wanted one of these, and I was not willing to pay the 40 bucks for it, but I found one naturally, and it came with 2. So I have a bunch of bomber jackets, but I didn't show any of them just because they're all very, very similar. I have some dark browns, some light browns, and blacks. And this one is specifically my favorite because of the inner lining. But it has pictures of globes on the inside as well as a bunch of writing, but this one is such a staple piece, and it keeps me super warm in the winter. So these are my last 2 jackets that I'm going to show, and I'm only showing them together because they are made out of like the same exact material. Both of them have the material tags completely rubbed off, so I have no clue what it actually is, and I've never seen another jacket like this, but I love the way it feels. It's almost like a towel, which is really weird to say, but that's kind of how it feels. So this one is green. It has some sort of lodge embroidery on the front, but it is like a quarter zip, but instead of a zipper, it has buttons. And I really like the way this one fits. It's just kind of like a baggy, almost like a 90s vibe to it. This one I recently got, and I was super excited and had to keep it just to add to my weird material collection. This one is something from Canada. Don't really know what the embroidery says, but it's a red little patch on the side, and it's super cool. This one actually does have a quarter zip, and it has that nice, cool zipper latch to it that's kind of on almost every 90s jacket you see. So this is a cool vest that I honestly have not worn yet, just because I got it kind of recently along with all of those men's Yale trouser pants. And this is super itchy. It is 85% wool. I love things that are wool. This vest it's so itchy, but I love it. I think it's super cool, and the buttons on this just have a nice vintage style to them. So this is my last wool piece. This is very similar to those sweaters that I was showing in the beginning of the video. They were totally found at different times. Even though this one is 100% Irish wool, this one is from Galway Heather. But super cool, has the vintage styled buttons and the beautiful wool pattern on it, but I love this one very, very much, and I need to wear it more. So this vest I wore at the beginning of college. I remember I wore this all the time, and it's kind of all over the place. It has this special guest embroidery on the side, and it has Arctic Winter Games from 2006 embroidery right here. But the main reason that I like this vest so much is the wolf embroidery on the back. So this is my last vest, and this one is 100% a collectible. I've never had a piece of clothing until this one that I knew I wasn't going to wear, but this is a 9/11 leather memorial vest. So when I first saw this, I knew it had a ton of sentimental value to someone, and when I saw it, I knew I had to keep it and make sure that it didn't get discarded, just because it holds a ton of value to someone, and now that person is me. But it has patches all over it, ranging from 2001 all the way up to 2012, as well as pins, and it is just a really cool piece. On the back it has two massive patches, and this is just something I can't get rid of. It's going to be a collectible for a long time. So last but not least, I have my accessories. I have a few ties that I picked out. I have a ton of ties, as well as a belt and a few scarves, just because these are my favorite that I actually do wear. So these two are handmade scarves. This one I wear the most out of all of them, but this one's got circular patterns all over it, and I get a lot of compliments when I wear scarves. It's just something that, especially in Arizona, people don't do as much. I think scarves should be worn a lot more. I like to be warm in the winter, so I have a ton of different winter wear accessories. These two other ones, this one is by Polo, just a cool kind of houndstooth. I would probably wear this one with this style of pants. And this last scarf is pattern one. It has a lot of detail in it, and the pattern kind of fades from on the back side being blue and pink to this other side being pink and blue. So this is my favorite belt buckle. It's a 1995 rodeo belt buckle. I paired this with this Western style leather belt, and it is one of my favorite belts to wear when I'm wearing anything Western. All right, last but not least, we got my 3 favorite ties. This one being my absolute favorite tie. I have a ton of ties, but these stand out to me the most. This one has 3D patterns. This one's got a bunch of embroideries, and this one is Christian Dior, and it has some ducks on it. I love animals, and these are just my favorite ties. So that is everything that I've kept over the past few years as a reseller, and of course there's so many more clothes that I'm not showing you guys, but these are just the specific staple pieces that I thought were worthy of showing you. And if you want to check out 2,000 plus listings that I have for sale right now, I have a link in my description that will take you to my Depop, where I post new clothing almost every single day. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment down below if you have any questions for me, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.